Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Keeneland Racecourse here on Saturday. It is the 20th of April, 2024. Gonna look at the stakes races on the program from Keeneland, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean around the world. Let's look at the stakes action, races 8 and 9 from Keeneland. Some very good turf races, or some very good stakes races. So let's get to it right now. The 8th race from Keeneland, it is the Elkhorn Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a $350,000 purse race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field here of, 11 horses heading to post. The distance of ground of 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the Keeneland turf course. Going to take the 4-horse Bold Act as a top selection. Let's go 4-3-11-1 in the superfecta. 4-3-11-1 super. Top selection of 4-horse Bold Act. This 4-year-old gelded by New Approach. Charlie Appleby trains. Frankie Dettori gets to mount. The horse's most recent outing came in the Dubai City of Gold at Maidan. A mile and a half on this 2nd of March was a success for this horse. He won by 2 lengths that day, even with a bit of a low weight for that race. He basically sat back early. He slowly moved his way into the race, and when he had the turn of foot at the top lane, he flew home clear late, won by Oakman Lakes. That was a very good run. Refreshing back to Keeneland, where he's run very well in the past. I think he could get the job done. 2 back in the Sycamore in the fall here over the mile and a half. He won by 3/4 length. He needed a dream trip again that day. Sat back early, a little bit wide, split horses. Jamie Spencer rode the race terrifically, quickened up nicely. That was a very good run. Major improvement off his race before at St. Cloud in Paris. A mile and a half in the listed Pre-Terrain. He finished 5th by 1/3 lengths that time, and he basically got stopped in a lane, which cost him. He had to put on the brakes in a lane, which, like I said, when you're in full run and just have to stop, you can't recover after that. But he ran terrifically early on in the race, and then the Pre-Nerev listed race at Deauville over the mile and a quarter. He won by a neck again. He was a little bit closer than he normally is that day, but he stalked, he got the lead, and he really got the job done quite easily. His races in France weren't bad at all. He was facing some tough horses, and he had some tough trips there. If you go back to that Pre-Eugene Adam at St. Cloud, again, he got stopped in the lane, which cost him that day. But coming here, he could win. I think a Wise Guy horse, the 3-horse Highland Chief, hasn't been seen since the Breeders' Cup Turf here at Keeneland in November 2022, where he finished 12th by 28 lengths. He beat 1 horse home. He just had nothing that day. Before that, he won the Sycamore on this turf course quite nicely in the fall of 2022, going away by a length. And then, his races in New York, he won the Man of War in 2022 at Belmont. Came back to run an okay 4th in the Manhattan and an okay 4th in the Bowling Green. He just missed the season last year. He's refreshing here. I'll give him a shot, but he might need a race. Even the 11-horse Silver Nod, he's coming to this trip for the first time, but his races, here stateside last year, he was basically running exclusively here last year, stateside, other than 1,000 Guineas. Those weren't bad races at all, except the 1,000 Guineas in the UK, where he ran horribly. Came back to run a first start stateside in the Pennine Ridge, had a decent 3rd. In the Belmont Derby, he just really didn't get the turn of foot, but an okay 3rd in the Secretariat, and a massive place from a Y poster in the Twilight Derby. But, refreshing here over a longer trip, he could definitely win at 8-1. Let's use him on the ticket. Also getting Flavian Pratt up's not bad at all. But to recount my selection for this very wide open 8th featured race from Keeneland, it is the Elkhorn. Going to take the 4-horse Bold Act, give kudos to the 3-horse Highland Chief and the 11-horse Silver Knot. 4-3-11-1 super, 4-3-11 in the multi-race. Let's get to the 9th race now from Keeneland. The 9th race from Keeneland, it is the Ben Alley Stakes. It's a Grade 3 event going for a $300,000 purse race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field here of 9 horses going 1,900 meters or mile 3/16 on the Keeneland dirt course. My top selection here in the Ben Alley, I'm going to go with the number 9 horse War Campaign. Let's go 9-4-1-7 in the superfecta. 9-4-1-7 super. Top selection 9 horse War Campaign. 5-year-old horse by declaration of war. Felix Sims trains. Tyler Gaffleone gets to mount. Horse's most recent outing came a month ago on the 23rd of March at Oakland. A mile length in the Essex handicap off the bench. He finished 2nd by 5 lengths. First mission really freaked on the front end, really took off clear. This horse just kind of stalked him, couldn't get there. Probably need the race off the bench. I think getting an extra 3/16 of a mile from his previous race, refreshing to Keeneland, he could get the job done. Not as tough race as the counterpoint race today at Oakland with that Oakland handicap. That's a very tough one. 2 back in the tinsel at Oakland on the mud. A mile length 16th of December. He won by 1.5 lengths that day, and he stalked all the way around the race course. He got the lead. He was drifting late, but he got the job done. A very good race there against some decent horses. And then Optional 100 at Churchill over the mile 16th in early November. He finished 3rd by 8.5 lengths that day, and he just never really got going. His races in the late fall were just a little bit too close to each other. So I think he was just a little bit flat in some of those races. He ran the 4th of November, 20th of October, 23rd of September. Those 3 races after quick turnarounds were just, we saw a tired horse, I thought, that day at Churchill. But, he ran terrifically. I want to go back to the 25th of May race at Churchill last year, going a mile and 8th. He won by 1/4 lengths, and he had a dream trip, and he really got the job done going away. Could have probably won by more, but that was a very good run. His place in the Hodgson Cup at Ellis on the slop wasn't bad at all either. Refreshing here, training well. I think he goes up a lot with the extra 16th mile. He can win. It wouldn't surprise me if the 4-horse Kings Barnes could win on the front end for Tom Pletcher and Luis Saez. Off the bench at Option 6-2 at Goldstream of the 7/8. He won by half a length. Coming from the back of the pack, I thought he really ran terrifically that day. Prior to that, in the Pegasus at Monmouth over the mile 16th, he placed that day. He had the lead. He got caught in the lane from a tracking trip or dueling trip, but again, he ran his heart out. And then last year's Derby, he didn't really do a lot of running. He had to steady a few times, but then just kind of weakened out of it. But he walked in the front end Louisiana Derby over this strip of ground quite easily last year. It wouldn't surprise me. He'll probably get a good trip from this inside. It wouldn't surprise me if they walk him on the front end. He could win. Let's use him in the pick 4. But to recount my selection, or this double, the 15% double between races 8 and 9, let's use him there. But to recount my selection for the 9th now from Keeneland, it is the Grade 3 Ben Alley. Going to take the 9-horse War Campaign. Give kudos to the 4-horse Kings Barn. 9-4-1-7 Super. 9-4 in the multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everyone.